Good morning, guys. All right, so today we're going to talk about your piece. And at this point, you should have found your product, even if it's something as simple as a pen. All right, so that's what I'm using just because I really don't have anything in my house. And actually, I got the idea from one of you guys who emailed me. So this product that we're using, again, I'm just using a pen. You can use whatever you want, anything that you can take apart and use. Okay, we're just trying to figure out how it works and make sure it's actually something you like too. So I like this brand of pen because it's actually a gel pen variety and it just fits really nice in the hand, so I have a lot of these. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the disassembly hypothesis chart, document chart. So if we go over to classwork here, okay, and you have the document chart and the disassembly hypothesis chart right here. So if I go to disassembly hypothesis, all right, and I'm just looking at that for right now. Now keep in mind, I did copy and paste these from the original document, so this original thing right here. They might look a little different. This is actually all the way on the bottom, so let me get to it. They might look a little different just for the simple fact of, for some reason, pictures were not going back and forth, but at least the verbs or the words and everything went pretty straightforward onto this. So we're going to click on this, and right here it shows your hypothesis questions and your disassembly. So disassembly or tear down of a project is a major step in the reverse engineering process. It uncovers the principles behind how the product works. It's also fun to tear apart a product, but nothing will be accomplished if data is not collected during the process. So before you tear anything apart, we gotta actually tear it apart in such a way that you actually can see how it works, you know, where is there a gear, is there a spring, whatever have you. So how do the parts interact? What is a good, bad feature of the product, form, function? You're going to answer these questions too, by the way. All right, so these questions are to get you thinking, the ones right here. So what is a good, bad feature of the product, form, function? What has caused the product to succeed or fail? Are the materials appropriate? What manufacturing process was used? And what is the estimate cost of the product? Why disassemble a product? To identify components and interactions of the components, to determine strengths and weaknesses of parts, to understand the operation, to develop computer documentation. All right, so this is the procedure. So when we're disassembling this, this is what we're going to do. We're going to disassemble the product, create pictorial sketches to describe the operation. Now, this part right here, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not asking you to do the sketches yet. However, keep in mind that you do have to do them. So if you want to go here for a second and look at the isometric sketch Dropbox, you're more than welcome to. So right here I said using either the attached sheet or just a blank piece of paper, sketch each part of your object. Make sure to show how big it is and any other necessary annotations. Take a picture of your drawing and post them here. Make sure to include the part number in the drawing and name so that you can see how it correlates with the chart document. All right, so again, we're kind of, you can almost argue these three documents are what we're working on. However, we're more or less focusing on these two. And the reason I say that is, for right now, if you want, you can take pictures of the parts with your phone so you know which is which. And I'm going to show you where you're going to want to kind of put those to see how that works. All right, so if we go back to classwork, I have all the documents open up here, but I want to show you where they are in classwork. So if I go to the document chart, activity, so I have the activity posted here for you, and I also have the chart. So if we go to the chart, all right, this is what I mean by putting pictures in. So we have the product name, okay, whatever it's called, that's what you're going to, whatever it is again. So this is what I'm working with is a paper mate pen, and this one specifically is called Profile. Today's date is 5/7/2020. There we go. And the time is 7:24 a.m. in the morning. So my name, I will put here. There you go. All right, so again, I'm going to fill this part out. We're just doing one product, okay? We're only doing one. So, so I'm going to, again, right here where it says part number, I'm going to assign numbers to the different parts of this product. All right, and this is where I was saying, so we're going to put 1. And this is where I was saying, you know, it might be helpful to take pictures. Okay, the picture part of this might actually be helpful. So for instance, and remember, it's each part of what you're doing. So my pen has several actual working parts. Okay, so there's several working parts here. I actually just tore it apart, so I'm kind of looking at it right now. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can get an image on the computer actually of what I'm doing, or of the pen I'm using. So it's called Papermate Profile. Oh, look at that. Actually, so like this is the pen right here. There we go. So I even have the pricing here, which we're going to need that in a moment here. So the pricing of this pen, again, I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay, so that's what the pen looks like that I'm taking apart. Okay, now this pen here, I'm going to, again, I want to take pictures of it, right? Now, if I'm taking a picture of it, well, let me go back. Ah, there we go. So if I want to, I can actually take this picture and I want to post it on there. I can. So I'm going to copy this image real quick, and I'm going to go to my chart just so that, you know, we're all on the same page as to what it is I'm doing this on. I'm going to make this smaller, and again, you can do this by finding the image on the internet or taking a picture with your phone, which I'm going to also do here in a second. So again, this is just to help figure out what exactly it is that we're looking at. That's all we're doing here. All right. Now, so now I have my picture. I'm going to start with the parts. So looking at the pen, I'm going to focus kind of on the tube part here. So I'm going to go tube as my part number 1. And again, this is where taking a picture of this would come in handy. And it doesn't have to be a great picture whatsoever. It can be something pretty simple. So over here in part number, I'm actually going to go to File, Open. Oh, wait a minute, I'm not putting a file in, I'm inserting an image. Brain's not working this morning. So image, gonna upload it from my computer. All right, so I have the photo of the tube right there, and I'm going to do that for each part. So I'm going to go, and again, this is where I said we're kind of working with the hypothesis. So it says create pictorial sketch to describe the operation. We don't have to do the sketches yet if you don't want to, but you can do the picture part. That way you at least have the pictures and you know what exactly you're looking at. If you want to do the isometric sketches already, then feel free to do so. I'm not in this video going to be talking about them just yet though. So next we're going to carefully observe and measure each part. We're going to record our findings on the product disassembly chart and create an annotated sketch of each part. Compare your hypothesis for operation to the actual operation of the part. Create 3D solid models for each part and document your findings. So again, if we're going constantly back and forth here. So this is the original document here, okay? And we're going to go all the way up past the document chart in this. And we're going to go to the procedure. So you can see in the procedure, it's telling you to create, again, those pictorial sketches as necessary to communicate the internal operation of the product. Carefully measure each part using the appropriate measuring devices. We're going to annotate the sketches. Again, we're going to talk about this next class, okay? Because I really want you guys to chart your items, all right? So we're working on the hypothesis. And we're going to follow this product disassembly production document. So after we've done this, we're going to answer these questions. But first, let's go back to the chart. So part number 1 is the tube. I got my picture of it right here. Again, this is to help you guys. I highly suggest you do it. We have a quantity of 1. Now, if you had something with more working parts and they had a duplicate, you would put more than 1 quantity there. So I'm going to now put the dimensions. And I'm going to use a ruler for this. The length is 4 inches and and 7/8. The width, again, this width has different sections to it all the way down. So one section is 5/8, so we're gonna put 5/8 of an inch, and then I'm gonna put top right here, and then the bottom is roughly 1/8. So it has different sections of the pen that have different widths to it. Now the function. So the function of the tube, and again, this is what does the tube, like what does each part do? This is what this point is. So the function of the tube is the holding part for the individual to write with. So that's what it is. It's the holding part where the individual can write with. I can also say it's the containing part. It's the containing part of the product. All right, so what's the material? So again, looking at the tube here, the material is plastic, and it's probably plastic too, but I'm going to put rubber on there as well, because I can't actually take that part off. Or can I? No, I can't take that part off. All right, so it's got like plastic and rubber. Now, what principles and principles and elements of design do we have here? So again, if you need to, guys, so under classwork, if you need to, you can go back to actually either one. So alternative assignment 6.2, where we actually talked about the principles of an elements of design, and the other one that we started when we first got into staying at home. So I'm going to bring this document up here just because it has them all in one spot. And again, let's see, what elements do we have? So we definitely have value. Okay, we have value here because it definitely goes from a lighter black to a darker black depending on where you are in the pen. It does have texture. And we're going to go with those two just for the... So, oh, that was elements. So, kind of got in my head myself. So we have texture, and I'm going to say the reason for this is because the pen is glossy in nature, giving it a smooth feel and appearance. Oh, I spelled appearance wrong. The rubber part of the pen is well, how do I want to say this? Rubber part of the pen is not glossy and gives a feel and appearance of being... Scrunchy is not the right word here. It's like giving it the appearance of having give. There we go. Because it does. It fits nicely in your hand. Alright, so we're just, since that filled up so much of that, I'm just going to go with texture here. Go back here. Now we're going to go to principles. I can't really see those, so I'm going to make them bigger. Oh, there we go. That's what I can use. Okay, so we're going to go with pattern. It was kind of hard to find a principle here. But we'll go with pattern because there is a repetition of lines on the rubber part of the handle. Okay, so there's repetition of lines. And now we have texture and finish. So again, we're talking just about the tube of the product. Okay, we're not talking about anything else. So texture and finish. I kind of already talked about texture here. So I'm going to put glossy and matted because that's what the rubber kind of looks like. So interaction with other parts. How does this how does this interact with the other parts? It helps hold the other parts together, which it does. So again, this is general notes. So this is anything you observed on the product. So anything like stress indicators or anything of that nature. I'm going to say that concurrently there are no stress indicators on this. The product looks fine. The only thing is that the lettering is faded. So that's what you're going to do for each part. So I got part 1, tube. All right. The next part I might do is I might do 2 and I might do the spring. All right. And then I'm going to put a picture here to show that. All right. But so far, that's more or less, guys, what you're doing, what I'm looking for, and how I'm looking for it. So again, if we go back to this hypothesis, so once you're done with this, you're going to answer this section. Okay, so again, we want to answer this section. I'm going to highlight it so you guys can remember to do that. So, and we want to answer these questions. How do the parts interact? Okay. For the pen, they interact by the button on the top clicking onto a gear looking mechanism which touches the what would you call that? The inkwell part of the pen, which, decompresses the spring, which allows you to write with. Okay. So what are the good and bad features of the product? And again, we're talking about form and function here. So what about it functions poorly? What about its form is poorly? What has caused the product to succeed or fail? Are the materials appropriate? What manufacturing process was used? What is the estimate cost of the product? All right, so you're going to answer these questions. Once you filled out the chart, and again, each part is going to have its own part number. If there is a part that is repetitive, like there's multiple of the same thing, that's the only time you don't have to do each individual part. Okay. And again, I can't stress enough the fact that you're going to want to take pictures because we are going to sketch these afterwards. All right. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to minimize this so I can get out of here. All right. So again, today we are doing the document chart and the disassembly hypothesis questions. Okay, make sure that you are answering those questions at the end here and that you are filling out the document accordingly. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Again, if you want to jump ahead to the isometric sketch, please make sure you're reading the instructions before you do that. And that's all I have for you for today. Have a great day, guys. Bye.